Okay, my name is Tony Martinez. I'm a ninth degree black belt in the Kempo system. I have a school in West Valley, about 4600 West and 35th South. Been in martial arts almost over 45 years. I first started taking Kempo in 1959 under Mills Crenshaw and Ed Parker. Studied with both of those. Prior to that, before I started the Kempo system, I was an amateur boxer, which that's what got me interested in the martial arts. Had 50 fights, 45 by KOs, and I got married and I stayed away for about a year, and I got bored, so I had to go back. I had one previous fight from that, and I wanted by decision. So my wife, at that time, of course, she was at boss at that time, so I had to terminate my profession as a boxer. And so I was getting a little dirty. So when I started into the Kempo, I saw a school there, which was kind of interesting for me. So I went in there and I thought I was real cocky, and I thought that I could just about do anything. So I was right there with Mills Crenshaw and then Mr. Ed Parker. They gave me a few lessons, which I was a true believer at that time. And then I continued taking it for a couple, probably 59. I was in 1964. I went and entered the internationals under Ed Parker. I took that. I was a brown belt at that particular time. I took grand champions of brown belt that particular year. The following year, I was a black belt, and I won that division in the internationals. Then after that time, I continued training schools. I got over probably 50 black belts who I've taught over the years in the martial arts. I still continue teaching. I enjoy it. Okay, most of my memories are in 1965 was when I fought Chuck Norris. I was really petrified because I was an unknown at that time, and we both got in the ring, and everyone came down and took his autograph, and I was petrified. And Mr. Parker came up to me and told me, just do your thing, relax. And I was surprised that I beat him by 1 point. That was an inspiration for me. And another inspiration was the time that I fought Benny Equatus and all his brothers at the World Tournament. Not the World Tournament, but it was at the Salt Lake City Tournament under Mr. Park was there watching me. I fought quite a few fighters. Benny Equatus, that was for first place. Him and I went at it. He actually took the fight, but Mr. Parker told me I actually had won the fight because I was a little excessive contact. So that was a kind of a memory for me. Then we had a world tournament back when Mr. Mills Crenshaw was doing it. I fought Chip Wright. It was a champion from every state that went down in to compete with this tournament. I got up to, after all the probably 30 fighters, I got up to third place. And then I got into a competition where we both made contact. I couldn't continue the fight because of my leg was dislocated. So at that time, my next fight would have been Bill Wallace, and I was so hyped up that I wanted to continue the fight with him, but they wouldn't let me continue. And then Mr. Wallace fought somebody else from I think it was I can't quite remember his name. It was the Tank Sudo. And Mr. Bill Wallace won the championship, and that was a big inspiration because he wanted a big boat and a big trip to China and all this, and there's a lot of other fights that I done over the years. I can't really up front remember all the names, but there was lots of top fighters, which Al DeCoscos, I remember he was one of them. I fought him, and Chip Wright, and a few others that I can't quite remember all of them, but there was at that time the inspiration I felt really impressed with Mr. Ed Parker to give me the the recommendation of being a good fighter, and that's what really brought my morale up. And after a while, I just started continue training, and so my inspiration was getting my students up to par, and I really enjoy teaching the kids and seeing the black belts that perform for me, and so on. So the advice I get to all my black belts is basically never start anytime you get in a consultation. I admire a black belt if they learn to walk away from it, and that's the best inspiration I give them. And also the teaching ability and how they show respect to everyone. If they can build their students' morale, that's the type of person I'm really looking for. And also if they show that inspiration to the outside, that's a great inspiration for me, knowing that I've taught these black belts. I think over the years, I've only had 2 black belts that I had to drop out of the studios because their behavior, and I think that's quite a good results for me, over the years that I've taught these black belts. So, and so they still over the years I still right now at this moment, I've got a couple of black belts that still training for me, been with me for 30 years and 35 years, and they still continue teaching. And I've always given these guys the viewpoint is, if they still continue taking from me, I don't mind them learning another art. I think the ability for them to understand another art, then they'll always come back. I always felt that positive in my mind. But in doubt, everyone should feel this in their mind. So that's the inspiration I got from these guys. The best advice I would give for a student is basically having the confidence and building improving their attitude, and learning most important is respect, showing that respect to everyone. Even though I'm married, the boss in my family is my wife, and I respect that everyone should honor that respect, with each and every person. The role model, in my opinion, was Bruce Lee. I was inspired by him in 1964 when he gave that demonstration down in Long Beach. That's the inspiration I got from him, and I watched and I worked his speed, and probably Mr. Ed Parker. I was really how do you say it? I couldn't believe that the power of what this guy had in one person, and I have always asked Ed, how do you acquire this power? And he always told me, he says, you will learn this in time. And I'm a firm believer that, and size is not the answer for, or height or anything like this. It's just a particular person, how well he puts his mind and effort behind this, that will achieve a better fighter and better martial arts throughout the world. So that's why I'm really impressed with most of my black belts, because these are the type of black belts that, hey, I got a chip on my shoulder. They don't show that. I want them to understand that, hey, I'm here. They don't go out boasting about, hey, I'm the black belt, I'm this and I'm do this. If anyone confronts them, I always tell them, I says, I'm just a beginner. I walk away from it, and I says, I don't want any consultation with you. So, and over the years, I taught the police force. I got several officers over the years who I've taught martial arts to. I taught the TAC force at the police force in Salt Lake City, Utah. The captain of the vice squad. And another inspiration I felt that over the years, back in the 70s, I used to go with what he called the vice squad, and sort of a backup. I was impressed by what they did, and we had a couple of consultations on how to disarm somebody and put them in a position they don't have to use their weapons, and so that was interesting for me. So that's the biggest part where the officers got trained at that time. And right now I got a couple of police officers taken at the school right now. So, and over the years, I got one of my students who's a black belt is a captain of this police force, which he's doing some fighting with his officers, which I'm really impressed. I went down there and introduced it to them, and I gave him a couple of demonstrations, and so I was really inspired. And I told him, I says, "You got a good instructor here, and I hope you continue his philosophy," and so on. And in closing, I'd like to acknowledge my son, one of them, my son, who has really inspired me in his teaching and ability to have the students grow, and then on the studios he has accomplished, and the way he's outlined the students and the clientele and everything. And I was really very impressed with him. I'm so happy for him. I love him to death. My other one is my wife. She is helping in my studio for the last 10 years. She's another inspiration for me too, and I want to thank them both. I hope they continue doing that for me.